This Lion fan base have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Already here, they'll audible to something else. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress. Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. You talk about closing in a hurry as a safety and run support. Not only did he get a good run in, he gave him a pretty good pop, too, and finished off the play behind the line of scrimmage. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Love. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play. As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg. Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Love looking to throw it. He'll complete this one to Watson. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield. He reads defenses so well, doesn't he? He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target. I don't think so either. I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a 1st down. And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, a 23-yard run. And the Packers have struck first in this NFC title game. Christopher Dunn on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Packers 7, Lions nothing. So Dunn now following the score, back out to send this away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Oh, his first throw in his playoff matchup is intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it, and the Packers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he's got some space here. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Buying time was left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here's Love. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. At least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 39.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, If he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Caught on the right side, Reed. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to start them out when you do that.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Goff. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Goff now looks to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They're already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the 1st down.
Goff. And that'll be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A shotgun snap for Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are 1 game away from a Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got, and that's a heck of a run right there.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Bates' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses you're striving for by any stretch. They're happy they got 3 now. They hope that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Throwing. Love. That's taken in by Watson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A stoppage here following the play, and it looks like Josh Jacobs was shaken up and in need of some assistance. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd and 5. Now Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To throw now. Here's Love. Out the goal line at the 3. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 59 yards rushing for him now. A strong performance here this first half with a Super Bowl berth on the line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. But following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Hand off down to Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Goff. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Goff now looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
That's offline. He hooked it. It's no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
St. Brown in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Second and goal from inside the 5. Gibbs is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Bates' kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points there in CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Shreds the tackle and able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Well, Love wants to shift things around. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Love. He finds his receiver, Watson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And that is no good. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
And that'll be caught by Tony. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Line 6.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic, and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
And this one is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Goff. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Oh, design run for their wideout. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
That's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks. And you often see the
touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft from 19 yards away. And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the 2nd half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Here's Dunn now as he'll run up and send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On to Gibbs. Here's Gibbs. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Second down and 4. Out of the gun. Goff. The pass complete on the crossing route. This is Tony with it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown from 13 yards out. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed.
Down the right sideline. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. 47 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Love looking to throw it. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Up the middle they go. It's Lloyd. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's the kind of run you get when you know Super Bowl berth is in sight. They've got the lead. It's the second half. All those weeks of wear and tear in your body just go away. He's running with purpose now.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Packers are able to extend their lead. Now done for the extra point.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
Here's Dunn now. Following the made field goal, he'll kick this one away.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass, obviously. And
it's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown
with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, you just grab a nugget when I can.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Love now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are in need of points here, no doubt about that, with a Super Bowl berth on the line and trailing here in the 4th quarter. This possession, gigantic. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 82 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Head off to Gibbs, headed right here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. Lloyd. That stop made by Jack Campbell.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house. So they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Packers are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Done good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So done now following the score. Back out to send this away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Goff. The throw for Tony is intercepted. Now he's free at the 35. He may go. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So a fourth quarter pick six here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick six, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Done good with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Goff now to throw. That's complete to Tony. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is. And now to common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this pass. For them, though, still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Goff now looks to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Goff. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Gibbs, and I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. On the keeper, here's Goff. Trying to wedge his way in there, no signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you can easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown. On
now is the Packers punter. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off play action. Here's Goff. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Down the sideline he goes. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Now done for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Here's 2nd and 10. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Goff. He's got a man complete. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
To the air again. Goff. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, Charles, fans around here, they were already talking Super Bowl. They've made plans. You just can't look past anybody in this league, especially this deep into the playoffs.
You would think that every year that message would sink in. And it feels like every year we see something like this, especially the way they're handling them. All right, you didn't expect this part to happen, but when you're playing this deep in the playoffs, every team's dangerous.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Now back to throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Here's Goff. To the sideline and incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just 1 more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to do it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, and that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Quick throw there is incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's Christopher Dunn now for the field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. And listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and
he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Goff now looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Goff.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. And the Packers are going to get the football back at their own 17. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And you can bet that they are starting to sense it now. That George Halas trophy nearly theirs. Their spot as NFC champions oh so close as they try to finish this one off. The Green Bay Packers, they are again NFC champions as we sign off and say goodnight. And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, will see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.
break. Hop, go. Set. Hot it. Here we go. Here we go. Ready. Ready? Set, go! Ready, ready! Ready! Let's go! Shut up! Set! Ready! Hunt!